So we explained with Likutei Halachot in Kadish. So we said that during the Karbonos you sift through the Olam Asiyah and you rectify it. The Avodah the Karbonos, which are taking place in the Mishkan. The Mishkan represents the rectification of the 39 Melachos. This is the realm of Olam Asiyah. With the Karbonos you rectify everything. And then you go to Pesukah de Zimra. Pesukah de Zimra is Levi. You're preparing the Yira. Yira, as we said in the Torah, is the keli. It's the vessel with which you can contain the chesed. The chesed, B'chinas Kohen. This is B'china Kriyat Shema. Kriyat Shema, this is Galus HaRotzaim. Galus HaRotzaim, and then you have Sila de Kedusha, which is Galus HaRotzaim. Galus HaRotzaim is when the Shefa comes down. And then you have the Shmoneh Esrei, which is, Rava de Ravi, that's the primordial Rotzon of all Ritzinis. That over there, there's Shtelahait, you don't say, there's no sound over there. This is the Iker Tfilah, and now we're holding Sif Dalet. V'zeh B'chinas Kadish, and Kadish is a mechanism that is inserted in here. She'omrim ben olam la'olam. You're saying it between one universe and the next, between the Asiyah, which is the Karbonos, and the Pesukah de Zimra, which is the Yetzirah. You say Kadish. Then between the Yetzirah and the Bria, which is Birkas Krishma, you say another Kadish. This is the column between one universe and the next. This is the elevator through which the tunnel through which you elevate from one universe to the one above it. Because the stature of the Kadish is extremely exalted, as Chazal said. And it says Kadish because it matber kol shasharim de parzala, it smashes all the iron chains. Ki Kadish is galus ha'rotzon. Kadish represents a pure revelation of the Rotzon Ha'elyon, B'chinas be'alma, Divrat Yerusei, the world that he has created the way he wanted to. Yamlach Malchusei, and he enforces his authority, his monarchy. With this, you tie your will to the root of the will. That's the will of wills. It's a primordial Rotzon. This is what you say in the Kadish, is Boach, V'ishtabach, V'chula, V'chula, Le'ela mikol b'chosot v'shirosot v'shbechosot, above all the brachas and all the songs and all the praises, the Amir that we're saying in the world, B'kikol ha'shirosot v'shbechosot shomrim, all the praises and the songs and the chants that we sing, Kulam B'chinas, is Galus HaRotzaim, these are all revelation of the Rotzon Hashem. That we thank and we pray that Kadish Baruch Hu created everything according to His will. However, in Kadish, it says it says above, beyond all the brachas and the shiras. This is this is beyond the revelation of the Rotzon which is in this world. This is the will of wills. This is the will of wills. This is all the wills, all the wants are connected to there. That's the That's the atomic reactor that gives the koyach to all the rotzins that come afterwards. Hashosh HaRotzin. Ki b'Kadish oilon miskashrim lebchinas shorosh HaRotzin. In Kadish, you are elevating and you are connecting to the very root of the rotzin. ועל כן הקדיש הוא גבוה מכל הקדושות. The Kadish is the highest of all the kedushas. שהם בחינס הסגלוס הרוצן. All the other kedushas are quote-unquote regular revelations of the rotzin. The Kadish is the revelation of rotzin shabarotzoinus, the will of wills. כי הקדיש הוא בחינס שורש הרוצן. The Kadish is the root of the rotzin, of the will. ועל כן נסתכל משום תרגום. That's the reason we say Kadish דווקא in Aramaic. ונעשה משהו קדיש. כי לשון תרגום שם עיקרית עניקס של חכמי הטבע. We said before, the Shon Targum, this is the no man's land from which, the sages, the natural sciences, this is where they feed off. Whereas Targum is Esadas Tovara. Targum, if you recall, is a combination of good and bad together. There's a presentation of Esadas, of knowledge. Knowledge is good and bad together. As Rabbeinu Zal wrote in a different place, this is the nature. This is where good and bad are mixed together. This is the main Bechira is there in the Targum. When you believe that nature behaves, only in the Ratzon of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this is the good in nature. And then the Teva itself, the nature itself, is included in the providential conduct and in the Ratzon Elokim. The opposite, when the sages of the nature, overcome, this is when Teva is separated from Hashgacha. You say like Teva, this is the Teva is the thing that determines what things will be, and the Ratzon cannot determine what's going to be with the Teva. This is the bad in the Teva, in the nature. So it is therefore found that the Teva is the tree of knowledge, good or bad. This is the Loshen of Targum. The Kadish, which represents the ultimate revelation of the Ratzon, of the will. You are connecting yourself to the very root of the Ratzon. That's Dafka, it was made Mishon Targum. Because the Ikir Hashleim, this is Galus HaRotzon. This is the ultimate perfection of the revelation of the authority of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when you turn the Chokhmah of the nature to Ratzon. Dafka in the thick of things, in the thick of the battle, in the trenches. This is where the Ikir, Moshe Katav Rabbeinu Zal. Ki mineu vei ovo leizel v'nalga. Because this is in the Gemara, when there is an argument between two Amoraim, and one of them is making an argument, and the other one takes the principle that his friend is saying and uses that very argument to defeat his friend's argument. So it's called, from his own, he throws a stone at him. From his own he uses his own arguments to throw a stone at him. Minerve, from him, from inside him, I'm coming to throw a stone at him. The Targum represents Teva, represents nature. That's Esadat Govera. This is a tree of knowledge, good and bad. The main feeding, Chachmei Teva, Umisham B'chinas Targum. This is what we say, that Arami, this is Lavan Aromi, the Aramites, Ovid Ovi, the one, the destroyer of my father, Yod Mitzrayim, and then he went down Mitzrayim. So we're saying Dagodah of Pesach. Because Lavan Aromi, who B'chinas Metzach HaNochosh, he is the forehead, he's the brazenness of the serpent. Shosh Chochmas HaTeva, he is the root of Chochmas HaTeva. Shemizgaber afilu keneged B'chinas Shosh HaRotzon. He's so powerful that he raises up, he revolts against Shosh HaRotzon, the root of the Rotzon. B'chinas Metzach HaRotzon, that's the forehead of the Rotzon. Lovan, that's what it's called white. Lovan is white. So lavnunis. That's the moyach itself. The brain itself is white. There's the whiteness of the moyach. Ki metzach harotzin, because the forehead of the rotzin, the resoluteness of the rotzin, shemisgal de zikne ador, which is revealed through the handiwork of the holy sages of the generation. They have perfection, which means they keep on improving every single day. That's their perfection. This is the supernal white. This is the supernal white. That is old age. B'chinas lavnunis, this is an aspect of whiteness, azoket shebuzkeinim. I'll just finish this piece. V'chein Lavan Aromi, that's why Lavan Aromi, white the Aromi, has netzach metzach hanochosh, that's the forehead of the serpent, nikra Lavan, it's called white. Lavan shebaklipa, the whiteness in the klipa. Kizeru mazeh, this, and Kadish Baruch Hu created good and bad that should be parallel to one another. When there's a b'china, a certain aspect in the kedusha, the tumah has the same koyach. So the b'chira, Ken Lova mikish lakoris hakol. Lova wanted to uproot everything. Ki ratzah latil pgam chas v'sholom b'shosh rotzin. He wanted to damage the root of the rotzin. This is where Am Yisrael are holding. This is where they're planted. B'chinas rotzen, ki Yisrael and למעלה מהטבע לגמרי, because Am Yisrael is totally beyond nature. To understand this inyan of what is the inyan of lavnunis, of the whiteness, and rotzen ha'elyon, a paper that has nothing printed on it could be looked in both ways. You could say there's nothing on it, and you can say that everything is on it.
There's no tzimtzum.
That's right. Whatever it is that can be revealed on the paper is a direct result of the tzimtzumim, of the black, which is on the paper. What the black does, it rules out all the different things that you could write that the whiteness can reveal. And it's metzamtzum this, and it constricts it to dafka this, that's it, no more. An aleph, a beis, an aleph, together, it's Abba, it's a father. Okay, so this is what, this tzimtzum. Now, the Rotzon HaElyon is the Shorosh HaRotzon, the root of the Rotzon, is total whiteness. A total whiteness that is impossible to grasp in the mind. That is what happens in Rosh Hashanah. Nosson explains it in Rosh Hashanah, why the first day of Rosh Hashanah is dafka harsh verdicts, Dina Kasha. The second day of Rosh Hashanah is Dina Rafia. It's a softer din, because the world is created in the mind of the tzaddik. And Kadish Baruch Hu said, Le'emer l'Tzion, to tell Tzion, Ami ata, you are my nations. The Medrash says, Al tikra Ami, don't read Ayin Mem Yud as my nation. Ela imi ata, you are with me. Says the Medrash, Ma ana bra shmaya ve'ara b'miluli, what I create heaven and earth with my speech, afatem ken, you also do that. You know, that sounds like, what are you talking about? Even the scientists, you know, in the quantum theory, they proved that perception fixes reality. They made a test. They have a question whether reality is a particle, whether the light is a particle. In other words, that there's a little schmitchik called light, and it travels very, very fast. And it travels in waves like that. This. Or whether the light is a wave, which means it's not a particle, which means something is moving through another reality, but it's a deformation within reality. Like you're taking a stone, you're throwing it into the water, and you have waves going up. It's all water. In other words, there's no one reality moving through another. It's not something moves through the water. The water itself, you know, it's a deformation of the water that is moving through the water, but it's all the water. So they wanted to know whether the light is a deformation in the matter, or it's a matter going through matter, particle going through it. It's a particle or is it a wave? Now, they had a test. The test was, kiviyachol, that they took a screen. And in the screen, they made two slits. Behind the screen, they put a film, light-sensitive film. Now, then they went and they shot a single electron at the screen. Now, the two slits were in the width of the wavelength. You know, one slit was this side of the wavelength, the other slit was the other side. So, two slits. Now, if the light is a particle, it'll go in through one of them. Either this or that. Okay? But if it's a wave, the light will go through both of them. Right? And they did that. And then they checked the film on the other side. And they found that when they just shot the light at the thing, it went through both slits. In other words, it's a wave. But when they put a sensor by one of the slits, the light went only through there. In other words, they put perception somewhere, and perception turned it from a wave into a particle. That's why there's the famous question of the quantum physics: if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? If there's nobody hearing it. In other words, is the sound an outcome of the fact that somebody hears it, a perception, or it's a fact alone? You hear it, you don't hear it, it happens. L'maisa, there is no such thing as sound. Sound is only waves. But we interpreted but anyhow, doesn't matter. The point is that even they recognize that perception turns an embryonic situation which is unformed, which is what we call it undifferentiated, it's a goylem, into determines a specific determination. This is all that we learn in Birkas Kahanim, the Birkas HaTorah, that we said that the light comes from above, undifferentiated, and you have to make a Birkas HaTorah to be mitzad the light to bracha. That was the koyach of Bilam that used to take it in the komotz, in the borech lakachti, used to take it in, over there one before, when it was undifferentiated, and form it according to his keli, the klal. Okay? So we talk about love, and we're talking about where everything is totally fisted, everything's totally closed. The tzaddikim, and Rosh Hashanah, the tzaddik Rosh Hashanah, the tzaddik goes kivyochol to love and elyon. He's elevating to much to beyond the das. Because the year could be anything. New year. Yeah. There's nothing there, it's just an empty page. He goes to Pchinas Ein Sof. From there he brings a tzimtzum of dak min a dak, a mashu. You have to understand, in order to be metzamtzem Ein Sof, there's Ein Sof, there's nothing written, there's no constrictions, it's Ein Sof. There's no end, there's no constriction, there's no nothing. It could be anything. To bring it down to a something, you need a koyach, which is practically Ein Sof, which is practically to stop a dam, to stop a sea. You need a koyach, which is equal to the sea. It's like to stop there and just take one little thing out of this. You need a tremendous koyach. This is why the first day of Rosh Hashanah is Din Akasha. You have to have tremendous constriction to be able to have a start. That's the first day of Rosh Hashanah. Second day of Rosh Hashanah is already something there. So Din Akasha, it's not so... The Chachomik, the Kedusha, they bring about this Golas Erotzim from the Loban HaElyon. Through their Maisim, through their Kedusha, through their Torah, they are a revelation of Rotzim machines. They reveal the Rotzim. It's a cascading, it's a waterfall. It's a watershed of Ruchnius, of Kofis, Golas Erotzim. Loban HaRomi is exactly the opposite. Now, what he wants to do, he wants to claim that the Loban HaRomi is total emptiness. And he wants to damage the Shosh HaRotzon. That's why it's Ha'aromi Ovid Ovi. He wants to totally annihilate, he wants to totally destroy, totally exterminate Yaakov Avinu Chas V'Sholom. This is enough of the Yod B'Sayma. Ad Kan for today.